So I put it in the property, and one of the things that I used to do, and then one of the things that we still do, is every property we put under contract, we have the right to offer for sale in any way we see fit after due diligence. So once the earnest money goes hard, we can even put it on the MLS. We don't own the property yet. The seller consents to sign that listing with us. And we do that on a regular basis. Well, being the business that I was in at the time, I was a realtor, and I was doing a lot of multifamily, a lot of highest and best use, a lot of projects, but I was also a realtor, so I represented a lot of builders. So I got this under contract, got a preliminary site plan done. I went to the development review committee meeting at the city. We'll talk a little bit more about today later. Got an approval there, went through and started to get applications into the planning commission and made a call to a dozen builders, and what happened? I was young and new at this. What happened? I got 35 lot subdivision, and builders were crazy looking for dirt at that time.
What year is this?
And this was in probably 1998, 97, back before you were born. But
thank you.
But anyways, the point is, the builders went nuts. There's three kinds of builders. Can I tell you who they are?
Yep.
You might want to write this down. Those that are doing nothing, that's a good percentage of them. The second one are the smaller guys that are scratching and fighting a living. These are guys that do additions and basements, and they find one-off lots to build here. They take the occasional build job, spec home, and they're always trying to, what can I do more? What can I do more? What can I get more? And then there's the big boys, right? The big boys are taking down massive tracts of land. So you got to know your audience. So we take this piece of property, I put it under contract. It was a fantastic price. Because I had represented a lot of builders, I knew what lots were worth and going for. And I started calling them and saying, here's what I'm going to sell these for, and here's what I'll sell them for papered. What does papered mean? Papered means entitled. It means it's gone all the way through. If you find a piece of land and it has just a plat on the county and one tax ID, that's not papered or entitled. Entitled is when all of the permissions are in place through the city. That includes your site plans, your civils, your third-party testing that the city would require. All of those things are in place, approved, and recorded if they need to be recorded with the plat. That's papered or entitled. You guys see evidence from us all the time that we make a 70 to a 400% return on land. So if I buy a piece of land for $1 million and I entitle it, we're selling it for $1.7 million up to $4 million. That same $1 million piece of land. And we've done tons of those. And our record is a 10-time sell. We bought something for $535,000 and sold it for $5.4 million. And didn't sell all of it. That is correct. Yep. Yeah, so everything pre-building is included in the entitlements. So if you, and again, I'll start back. Some of you guys know this. There's 2 sets of construction drawings for every project. And most people don't realize that. They understand the blueprints for a home, for example. But on a multifamily project, a mixed-use project, commercial, retail projects, they also come with construction drawings are the blueprints, and then they come with a site plan or site drawings. There's a second set of construction drawings. That site set are known as your civils, and those are also known as entitlements. So those entitlements are what really drives the money because A, builders can't find the properties. You know, if you look at the builders in the first 2 groups we talked about, the guys that aren't doing much and the guys that are doing a fair amount, but they can't get to that next level, those guys will go crazy if you work with them on a project. This is probably a little bit outside the bandwidth, 35 lots of most of those guys, but the 8s, the 10s, the 15s, and especially if you bring them on as a partner, if they're good at what they do and they just need some business help and a good partner. And I made a lot of money doing that kind of stuff, but I called the right guys. How would you know who the right guys are to call? If you're not in the industry and you don't sell new homes, how would you know who is the right guy to call?
Let's see who's building.
Guys, we're getting ready to put a townhome project out to bid over here. And I said to Hunter today, I want to find all the townhome builders at Provo South. So you could literally go to every city and say, I want to see every building permit that's been submitted in this city in the last 3 years on townhomes. And now you have a list of builders to send your construction drawings to, both your civil sets and your construction set. And you got active builders in the marketplace. Does that make sense? See how easy that is?